Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eastbrook High School for the final Grant County High School football game of the at least regular season. Ron Vermillion joining me, and I'm Roger Alcock. And folks, it's kind of a cold, rainy night, but of course we're at Eastbrook, Ron, and that's where the fans always come out. And you would expect nonetheless from the Eastbrook faithful, especially on senior night. And obviously the Panthers are a big favorite, but they hope to see a good showing from their seniors today.
You know, Roger, that is, and we look across at the Elwood side, and they're having just as a disastrous season as what Eastbrook's having a great season. I count all of 10 people over there in the stands. But over here on this side, they're introducing the seniors, and they have a very good senior group, good senior leadership. They're 7-1 for the season.
Well, we're going to send it down to the sidelines really quick and check in and see what's going downstairs.
Thanks, Richard. We talked to Coach Adamson yesterday, and he was unsure of whether his starting linebackers and running backs, Zane Kirby and Drew Cochran, are going to be able to play. Both seniors tonight. So we'll have to see how that one plays out for their defense and their running game. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Joey. And we were going to talk a little bit about that. This Eastbrook Panther team, Ron, is a little bit banged up, and you talked with Coach Adamson about that before the ball game. And injuries are definitely a factor. Might not hurt them tonight, but going into the playoffs could be an issue. He
said that it's according to how things go. And let me just say this in advance. We're getting rained on. My thermometer said 39 degrees, so it's officially in the 30s as this game starts. But they've had a very good season, but they've got problems in the linebacker spot, who also happens to be two of their three fullbacks. So high ankle sprains with those two young men, and possibly he'll go to a third man. And so as we get ready, I think he's just going to reload with what he has, so because he is very confident of what he has in the running game. And if you didn't know this, he's only thrown 23 passes in 8 games. Now, that is less than 3 passes a game. But he has thrown for about 7 touchdowns. So they're big plays because you're expecting pass all the time. We'll watch that for you. We'll help you out as we see some possible passing downs coming up for them. But expect this team, Eastbrook, the home team, the senior night team, to run the ball and run it a lot.
And really, we talked a little bit about the mismatch in terms of Eastbrook being 7-1, Elwood at 0-8. But this is a big game for the Panthers because just down the road in Gas City, Blackford is taking on Mississinewa, and should Blackford pull the upset on Mississinewa, and Blackford we know has had a really nice season, one of their best seasons in years, all of a sudden we're looking at a 3-way tie in the CIC.
Of course, nobody would be more happy than Blackford because they, as you said, I think that one time they had a 40-game losing streak.
Correct.
So, but Eastbrook is hoping for a miracle over there because I really think it would be a miracle if Blackford wins in Gas City with a team that's had the great season that Mississinewa Indians have. And you never know.
Yeah.
But over here at this one, they're going for the best they can do, and they can finish with just 1 loss in the conference. I believe it would be 6-1. And getting ready for Oak Hill for next week as the sectional opens.
Well, we'll try to keep an eye on that Blackford Mississinewa score as the evening progresses. Another big football game here at a county school. Well, I shouldn't say a county school. It's a school in the county, in Marion. The Giants, who are 8-0 on the season, looking to go 9-0 on the season. They're at Lafayette Harrison. Now, Harrison's only 4-4 on the season, but they played some really good competition. And Harrison is a good football team. The Giants are going to have to maybe play their best game of the year if they want to go 9-0.
Throw in there a 1 hour and 45-minute trip by bus after going to school all day, and it kind of levels out the talent However, going in, you've got to say that Marion is the prohibitive favorite because I believe they're number one in 4A. They have been rewarded for the type of season they've had, the run they've had through the North Central Conference. So nobody would be happier than them to finish the season 9-0. And I was coaching with the Giants back in 1997 when we went 9-0. And the thrill of a perfect season for the players as well as the coaches is pretty significant.
Perfect season and a conference championship to go along with that would be just a great, outstanding achievement by Coach Chambers and the Giants. And again, we'll try to keep an eye on that score as we go along tonight. There we see at the middle of the field the Eastbrook Panthers in their all-black uniforms and the Elwood Panthers. One thing we know for sure tonight, the Panthers will win.
But the Panthers will lose, too.
Yeah, that's right. And
no ties.
Well, let's see. Eastbrook has won the toss, so they will defer until the second half, and Elwood has elected to receive the opening kickoff. We said it's a cold night and rainy, but the field positions are obviously in outstanding condition when you have the turf that was put down here, probably about 4 seasons ago now,
I believe
imagine.
4.
And, of course, with the advent of soccer being added to the slate of sports at most high schools, and, you just having the turf field is such a huge, just a bonus for a school, for an athletic department, for coaches, just not have to worry about field conditions.
And it is really cost enhancing for the school because there is no upkeep, at least for about the first 15 years.
Exactly.
Then you have to worry about redoing it and one thing and another. But right now, most of the high schools have put in within the last 5 or 6 years. So fields around Indiana are just really pretty amazing. And in fact, so amazing that if you go to other states, you'll still find a lot of the grass fields.
And Ron, would you have thought just even 10 years ago that of all 5 high schools in Grant County that sponsor high school football, 4 of them have artificial surfaces now? Never would have thought that just even maybe 10 years ago.
There was a big push at Marion to get it, and as soon as Marion got it, why I know 2 of the other schools got it, and now we're at 4 schools out of 5 with the artificial turf.
Well, we are underway, and the kickoff is taken around the 9-yard line. It's carried out across the 20 for Elwood. I think that was Trey Jordan on the return. A nice return. Gets it out across the 20 to the 22-yard line, maybe the 23, and that's where we'll start things.
Trey Jordan, the sophomore for Elwood. His number is 6. And 5'9", 185 pound. Good run back as they get it up to the 23-yard line.
The Panthers, under their first-year head coach, Chuck Foga, obviously have struggled this year and low in numbers, somewhat similar to what we saw earlier this year in Madison Grant with those low numbers.
Right.
And sometimes they scratch and claw and fight for a quarter, but they just wear out.
That truly is. They have 24 dressed today.
At quarterback, that was Josh Blackford, who hands it off. No gain on first down. In fact, it might be a loss of about a yard. Sets up second down. Ron, great conditions up here in the press box at Eastbrook High School. It's cold and rainy, but they have a really an outstanding facility here up in this press box. Plenty of room for everything you need to get done, and they do a great job here of hosting. And
good food, too, by the way.
Second down here for the Panthers. We're just underway. Pitch to the right side, and oh, my goodness, in there for the stop. Panthers were all over that play. Not sure who that was for.
Kind of hard to see the numbers from here.
Very difficult to see.
Might be able to see them a little better on our monitor, but a 4-yard loss nonetheless.
You have the black pants and the black jerseys with kind of the
here it
silver
is,
outline.
and let's see if we can get a number on that coming across.
Well, that was on the tackle. That was Mason Hale, number 18, who made the tackle for the
just
Panthers.
happens to be one of the quarterbacks, too.
Well, now this is a situation Elwood does not want to be in. 3rd and long. Quick hitter out here. His pass is complete to Seth Morales. Very short gain. And it brings up 4th down, and so the Panthers will have to kick it away.
Coach talked about the possibility of playing a couple freshmen. That looked like Collins, the freshman, on that tackle for no gain. And as you said, when you're against Eastbrook's defense and you're at 3rd and 15, you're probably going to find yourself at 4th and 15.
And they're in trouble now. And he got that one away. Now there's flags down. There has to be illegal men downfield, I would believe.
No, he kicked it past the
Was he past the line?
scrimmage.
Okay.
I've never seen that.
No.
40, almost 50 years of being associated with football, I've never seen a punter kick past the line of scrimmage.
Let's mark that one down in the archives. When you can see on that shot there that just that cold rain that is coming down, and we'll get a look at just the slippery football.
Snap in the first place. There he is. You saw him cross the line of scrimmage. Really a decent punt for being on the run, but now it's up to Eastbrook. If Eastbrook accepts or denies it, well, then they'll get the ball back at the 49-yard line. And if they accept it, it'll be 4th down again and go back. And I'm not sure whether this is a unsportsmanlike conduct or not, but here we have them at the 49, and I believe that's where they're going to.
I think Coach Jeff Adamson says we're going to take the football where it's at. He declines the penalty, and so it'll be the first snap of the game here for this Eastbrook offense. You talked about running the football, and they'll run at you and run at you and run at you, and sooner or later they're going to break one big.
Not very often will they pass, though. 3 times a game average. We saw them throw about 7 times against Mississinawa, but as an average, 3 times. And I asked Coach in our production meeting yesterday, Coach Jeff Adamson, are you going to throw any more this year? And he says, according to what dictates the situation. So he's going to come up in this is a perfect field. The water will make no difference here. But he is going to run at them. They average 363 yards of rushing each game, and probably, I'm guessing, maybe 40 or 50 passing.
Yeah, 44, just over 44 points a game for this Eastbrook offense. Their defense giving up just over 10. First down carry, and this one could go the distance inside the 20 and finally run down. That was Zane Kirby with the big gainer on first down. He gets it all the way inside the 20 and down to the 12, let's say maybe the 13-yard line. Now Eastbrook's going to move quickly here.
37-yard pickup.
Hale.
They have to get the flag set over there.
Yeah, here's Kirby on second down. And gets a gain of 9 inside the 5. Look at the quick offense here by the Eastbrook Panthers. They're going to try to get this snap off before the Elwood defense can be even set. And Zane Kirby, who just walks in the end zone. It doesn't get much easier than that, Ron.
Yeah, three runs by Zane Kirby. And Zane came in. The leader on this team with 648 rushing yards. He picks up 51 yards in 3 carries, and Eastbrook's on the scoreboard.
Well, we thought Eastbrook could run the football, but quite frankly, did not think it was going to be that easy. The snap on the extra point is down. The kick is up. It is good. And just like that, Eastbrook is on top 7-0. And Ron, there was virtually no
the hole was as big as you and I could go through. They ran the trap that time, and that's something that they're going to be very successful with because Elwood is just a little undermanned on the line. They're going to have a good thrush off of the offensive side of the ball, and when they run the trap, that's going to open up big holes. This game could see some big numbers before it's over.
Well, last season, Eastbrook won this football game 65-0. The Panthers have won 19 out of 21 contests all time against the Elwood Panthers, and they're well on their way to getting win number 20. Well, here's Zane Schiltz ready to kick it off once again for the Panthers.
Schiltz averages putting the ball down at the 10.
Now there's a flag on the play and a whistle.
Offside.
And it's offside against Eastbrook, so we'll have to kick this one once again back from the 35. Should also, go ahead, Ron.
Talking in production meeting, because sometimes the specialty people are overlooked. I talked to Coach about Zane Schiltz. He is averaging 34 on the punts, but Coach says, you know, we haven't done him well because there's been several times when we've kicked from their 40, and he had a short court to kick to, and we're trying to get the ball down inside the 10. So he said of his 13 punts, several of them have been very short, and he said, put that on me. But he's averaging 50 yards on the kickoff, and that puts him in a hole.
Here's a low line drive that's picked up and brought out across the 20. That was Jordan once again with the return. Let's check in with Joey downstairs once again.
Roger, as you could see on that last possession there, Zane Kirby is healthy and active and ready to play. It'll be interesting to see if Eastview could get a lead here, how long they're going to let him stay in with the sectional against Oak Hill next week, and the fact that it's an ankle injury and it is raining outside and it is very wet out here. Back to you.
As you were telling me before the game, Ron, that should Eastbrook get out to early lead, we definitely think that Coach Jeff Adamson's going to go to his bench early and try to keep some of those guys who are maybe a little banged up ready for next week. On the run now, a little bit of running room down the sideline, and a nice gain there on first down by the quarterback, Josh Blackford. And Blackford showing a little bit of speed there.
Nice speed as he scrambles. He comes out on a sprint out, and I don't think it was meant to be a sprint out. I think it was more of a pocket protection. But here we see him dropping back. He rolls out, sees nobody open, runs down, picks up a good Elwood first down.
Well, they needed that just to get a little bit of confidence, I would think. Give themselves a little bit of breathing room as well. There's two wide receivers now split wide to the left. Blackford under pressure, and oh boy, he's going to go down that time. The pressure got to him, and there's just a whole host of Panthers down there. Justin Starr in there on the tackle. Jake Donaldson took himself out in the pregame going through his banner.
Yeah, yes he did. We saw that. Another loss show for Elwood. One of two quarterbacks that they've used all season. They throw about 8 to 10 times a game. They really don't get much more than 140 yards overall in their offense.
Here's the pitch back. Jordan has to fight his way back into, back to the line of scrimmage. And that Eastbrook defensive line now, Ron, though, just they're in the backfield almost as soon as the ball is snapped.
And let's talk about their defense a little bit. They have what the coach calls a three front. They have three down linemen. A lot of times they'll bring those outside backers up on the ends. Not so against Elwood, because Elwood runs a lot of split. But you're going to see this three work over their five.
Third and long. Under pressure, looking right. Pass is overthrown, and that'll be a fourth down situation here for Elwood, and they'll be forced to kick it away.
Nice 19-yard pickup on the first play of this series by quarterback Schroll, Blackford, but it's stalled. And again, if they're trying to run this between the tackles, they're not going to get very many yards because they're outmanned on that defensive line for Eastbrook.
Panthers is bringing in one more lineman here. They had to get 11 men on the field. Here's the snap. Boy, that ball was almost blocked He gets away, takes an Elwood bounce, and it'll be down precisely on the 50-yard line.
20-yard punt. That ball, I don't know how it wasn't blocked because they were bringing 9 men, 9 against the blocking 5. But he did get it off, just a 20-yard punt, but he did get it off. That was the key thing, putting them back at the 50-yard line. The first time they lined up at their own 49. Now they're at the 50. It did not seem to be any trouble as they scored on 3 plays from the line of scrimmage.
On first down, here's the quarterback keeper turning it upfield. Oh, breaking one tackle. That's Hale inside the 40. And actually, in a quarterback, that was Dylan Bragg this time. Bragg gets the first down for the Panthers of Eastbrook.
We talked to Coach about his quarterback situation. He said he'll play both of them a lot. And they're not going to throw. That's
right.
It's three times a game as an average is not a lot, but both players are very good option readers. So he's given both guys a chance. In fact, he's talking about how his whole team has had a lot of option or a lot of chance to play even from the backups.
Kirby up the middle that time. Those last 2 carries defended much better by Elwood. So now we're looking at a 3rd down for Eastbrook. 3rd and 6 for some teams. You might think this would be a passing down, but not necessarily for Eastbrook.
No, this is definitely a running down.
Here's the quarterback option. Right side, first down and more. The 20 and at the 10, and finally knocked down and out of bounds at the 7-yard line. So it'll be a Eastbrook first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
34-yard pickup, and all he does is come out. He has his back blocking for him. He has a pulling guard blocking. 31 or 34-yard pickup.
And Kirby goes into the end zone, his 2nd touchdown of the evening, and it makes it now a 13-0 Eastbrook lead.
Well, it took 4 plays this time to go 50 yards. And Kirby seals it off, but a great run by the quarterback that set up the touchdown.
Well, the first series took 3 plays. The second series took 4 plays. Now Schultz is in once again for the extra point attempt. It is up. It is good. And it's 14-0.
Here we see the play on the long run. Nice job. And he picks up. He runs over people. They had him tackled really at about the 11-yard line, and that's when we talk about the yak yardage, the yards after contact, and I believe here is the touchdown run. It just turned down, and they're just blocking straight ahead and taking people down. Already 100 yards of offense for Eastbrook on 7 plays in this first quarter.
Well, we talked about what they do on the offensive side of the football. Nearly 400 yards a game, 44 points a game. But defensively, they don't give up very many points. So, obviously, if you're Elwood, you didn't want to fall behind. But you're not going to come back down 14-0 on a team that only gives up about 10 points a game.
It almost was too easy for those first 2. 7 plays, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns.
High end-over-end kick taken at the 6-yard line. And down right at the 20-yard line. That was Seth Morales on the return. So we'll see if the Elwood Panthers can get something going here in the first quarter. 5:55 to go here in the first quarter.
This Elwood team features Trey Jordan back there. They feature their quarterback is Josh Blackford. They really have thrown at about a 44% clip from the passing range, but they just don't get enough first down to sustain drives.
On first down, Blackford waiting for the snap. Straight drop. Well, now here's a flag, and as Blackford goes out. That time, I thought the quarterback kind of stepped up into the pressure when he really didn't have to, but you can tell after you've been knocked down so many times, you just have those happy feet.
The pocket was collapsing in a hurry, and here we see it. There's your back trying to block, and he didn't get a very good block, and his man that he was trying to block actually got the tackle, and I believe that was Mason Hale.
Well, after a big loss on first down, it'll be second. Excuse me. It'll be 2nd and 15. With the sack, the penalty was declined.
Yes, they sure didn't want to take it because it wouldn't have moved it a whole lot farther back.
Inside handoff, nothing doing there. Porter, Trenton Porter, the junior running back with the carry that time. It'll be 3rd down and long now. You see Blackford going all the way over to the sideline to get the call.
They have only, in 9 plays, they've only had one positive rushing play, and that was the 19-yard scamper by the quarterback, Josh Blackford, in the 2nd series.
Well, once again, 3rd and long for Elwood. They'll snap it inside the 15. Dumping it off in the flat. Looking for Trey Jordan that time. Incomplete pass. And once again, Elwood will kick it away.
Trey Jordan, a lot of their offense. He is 3rd on the team in rushing. He's 1st on the team in receptions with 12 receptions. But that pass was just too high, and it wasn't going to go anywhere if the ball was caught.
So Elwood should get this football in tremendous field position once again. Oh, he dropped the football. The punter just dropped the football, and Eastbrook is going to have it inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line.
Just went from bad to worse. We're still in the 3rd quarter. This is a chance for a 3rd straight touchdown for Eastbrook. And here we see the punt attempt. He gets the ball back there, but the punter does not handle it very well.
That was a perfect snap.
Yes, it was fine.
Recovered by Elwood.
Well,
I would say look for Kirby.
Well, this time the handoff goes to, that was Edward Kiesling. Kiesling with the touchdown, the senior on senior night, gets it into the end zone. And I think it's official. We can say this route is on.
It is on. Another 40. I believe that was a 10-second series for Eastbrook.
Yeah, exactly. One play, 3 yards, 10 seconds. Schultz is good. Just getting back to that point.
But he's running hard. Kiesling, it's his last. He is not a starter there on the offense, but he's given a chance. He gets down. Nice push off from the offensive line. Kiesling gets the touchdown, the 3rd touchdown in this 1st quarter.
I wanted to get back to something you were talking earlier about special teams and the play of special teams. Tonight, probably not going to be much of a factor, but as you get deeper then into the state tournament and playoffs, that can be a huge, huge asset to you to have a place kicker like Schultz who can, maybe switch the field for you, that you can rely on in terms of hitting extra points. Those little things like that can be huge things.
You and I do Indiana Wesleyan, and Indiana Wesleyan has a great field goal kicker, kickoff man, punter, and the specialty teams they're on the other side. They've got great returners. That's what specialty teams do, is set up the offense or get the defense in good situations.
Another good kick taken inside the 5. Jordan running hard, gets it out across 20, slips a tackle out across the 25. Actually, that was Morales on the return. Gets it out near the 30-yard line.
And that's probably the best play of the first quarter for Elwood as he takes the ball, gets a couple of nice blocks, and goes up the right side, gets all the way up to the 30-yard line. That's their best field position as they kick off their 4th series of the first quarter.
Still 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Eastbrook on top, 21-0. This will be the 4th possession here for Eastbrook, for Elwood.
Trips over here on the left side.
Rolling to that way, dumping out in the backfield, but there is that Eastbrook defense. They sniffed it out the entire time, and there was just nowhere to go for Trenton Porter.
Edward Kiesling, who just scored the touchdown, gets the tackle, and it is a 6-yard tackle for loss.
Donaldson in on the tackle as well. A loss of 6 on that play. And so now we look at a 2nd and 16. I do believe that was the first completed pass of the evening for either team.
The 11th play of the first quarter for Elwood, and only one play has been positive.
Now they send 3 wide receivers out to the right, setting up a screen that time. And there's now a flag going to be thrown in at the end of that play. Pass was completed to Trey Jordan, but Clay Dalton was all over that play.
It was either a hold over there, it might have been a face mask as he was going down. It looked like he went down pretty quick. No gain. Let's see what the official says. Yeah.
They're going to say a personal foul on Eastbrook.
Personal foul called against Eastbrook.
So it had to be that face mask on the tackle.
Yes, I think so. That's if it's a major penalty. Well, actually, it's going to be a major penalty for a face mask all the time. So in high school football, this will be the best play. No gain on the play, but a 15-yard penalty, and I believe an automatic first down on a personal foul.
I believe that's the first penalty. Well, first accepted penalty.
Yes.
I take that back. That's the second accepted penalty because Eastbrook was offsides on that kickoff earlier on.
It was a shot to the head. It was not.
Okay.
It was a shot to the head.
It'll be 1st and 10. Elwood from their
So
own
now
40-yard
Elwood
line.
has it out to the 40-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and 10.
I guess you say that Elwood is on the move with that 15-yard penalty. They're up to the 40-yard line.
Inside handoff. And nothing doing there. I think the first man in there was Josh Rogers, number 72 maybe.
I think you're right.
Tackle made by number 61, Brandon
And also Brandon Davis in on the tackle as well.
And that's another senior, 5'9", 180-pound offensive defensive lineman is Brandon Davis. 2-yard or 1-yard loss. This running game has been pretty much bottled up by the 3 down linemen and then the 2 outside backers for Elwood, as a lot of times they're on the outside of the defensive line and are coming.
Little razzle-dazzle roll, and as that does not work at all. And there, who else but Clay Dalton sniffing that one out, making the tackle. And Clay Dalton, we know, a pretty good tight end, but he's one of the leaders on this Eastbrook defense.
What a tackle. A 9-yard loss on a reverse.
That had to make Grandpa proud. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but
okay.
Actually, talk about it right now. Clay Dalton, the grandson of Dr. Mike Fratsky. Dr.
That's right. You had mentioned that over at Miss Cinema. That is correct.
Well,
has
actually,
a lot of Indiana Wesleyan connections there.
Boy, on the quarterback keeper, and another loss, and it'll be 4th down.
I just really don't see much blocking on that offensive line, to be quite honest.
Well, everything starts up front, and you know, these backs and quarterbacks for Elwood, they just really don't even have an opportunity to make a positive play.
I think Stevenson was on the first hit, and it was another 4-yard loss.
So 4th down and 24. Lovell got it blocked. It's blocked inside the 10, and Eastbrook will have it there. In on the recovering the block was Brandon Davis. Didn't see who got the block there, but there were a whole host of Eastbrook Panthers
and
in
I only
there.
saw 4 guys coming, so the 4 guys did what 9 guys couldn't do on the previous one and got the block.
And let's check in downstairs with Joey.
Roger, Andrew Cochran has yet to play in this game. Yesterday, Coach Adamson said that he was the less likely of the two between him and his fellow starting linebacker to not to play, and it doesn't look like he's going to get in with these conditions, especially with the score being what it is in the big game next week. Back to you.
Zane Kirby on that carry, first down, picks up 3 yards, and you know, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but certainly now with the big lead, Coach Adamson has a huge benefit of just taking a good look at his roster and getting.
He does, and he's not going to throw the ball when the situations are like this.
And just plowing his way into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. That was Edward Kiesling with the score.
Kiesling comes on a counter motion from the left going back to the right, hits a would-be tackler at the 2-yard line, and really just drives him in to the end zone.
Well, 2 plays on that drive results in another Kiesling touchdown, and here once again is Schultz in to attempt the extra point. He nails it, and it's 28-0.
Here we see the block, and we can see that it is raining pretty hard out there.
Oh, yeah.
And here is the touchdown run as a counter run. He going wide, he makes a cut, takes it straight up, and another touchdown. 4 touchdowns in the first quarter for Eastbrook, and they lead 28-0. And we were afraid it was going to get away early, and it has.
Now, Ron, I'm not going to complain since we're up here in the cozy confines of the Eastbrook Panther press box, but I think our window's starting to fog up here. It's probably Chuck Landis over there.
Chuck has hot breath, I guess. He's the man as far as sports in the county, as in the written word. And here we are.
We're going to take this sleeve and just clean the window off a little bit. We're really suffering up here for WIWU, aren't we?
We are, and like I said earlier, the food is good too. It is probably just 60 degrees up here, just a nice day.
Here is Schultz with the kickoff. Another good kick taken at the 5.
Nice run.
Yeah, oh, then a big hit at the end of that run. Trey Jordan.
Really, Trey Jordan
he's done a nice job,
is doing a nice job, especially on the kickoffs. And let's talk about Schultz. Schultz is averaging 50, and each kick, he gets just a little bit deeper. That one was a 56-yard kick down to the 4. And there we see Jordan taking the ball up to the 21-yard line.
Well, we should see maybe 1-2 more plays at the most here. One more rushing play here in the first quarter with their 17 seconds on the clock. Pitch back to the right side. Here's Jordan. And he picks up a couple yards maybe on that play as he gets it out.
Let's see what they give him. 2 yard and a half, but that's the first positive yards they've had. Wow, since the 19-yard run by the quarterback, Josh Blackford.
11.8 seconds on the clock as the clock stopped as Jordan went out of bounds.
Jordan picking the mud out of his helmet. He got You don't see mud very much on a artificial turf. Maybe it's some of the artificial turf in his helmet. I don't know.
Those little black pellets that make up part of the surface.
It is raining steady out there.
Yes, it is.
They haven't fumbled the ball on the carries as much as they have on the punt snaps.
On second down, now working here the near side. Jordan hemmed in and taken down. Nice open field tackle down there. With Edward Kiesling on the tackle. He's scoring touchdowns and making good tackles in the open field.
Here we go, and we see the pitch. He's trying to get this student body out there, but not going to happen as Kiesling comes up, takes him down for a 2-yard loss. And what can you say other than first quarter is finally over?
We will take a break. We'll be back with the second quarter of action from Eastbrook High School. The Panthers on top, 28-0.
This week on Crossroads, a special tour guide shows us some of the hidden history of Fairmount.
The James Dean Lookalike Contest has people trying to emulate more than just his look.
And take a ride in a classic Chevy Impala. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key, your friends and neighbors this week on Crossroads.
How do we help someone flourish and gain fulfillment?
On a consistent basis, you see people's life change.
You have the power to make good choices, you have the power to make bad choices.
I really do want him to say, well done, thou good and faithful servant.
Maybe this is what I'm wired to do. This is what I was meant to be.
I feel like I was not living life to the fullest.
Your community station, WIWU TV.
Along with Ron Vermillion and Roger Alcock back here at Eastbrook High School, where it was all Eastbrook in that first quarter. Panthers had the football. It's third down and about 13 yards to go for the first down.
This seems to be a recurring event each series. This is the 5th series of the ball game for Elwood, and each series other than one, they've ended up in negative yardage.
Boy, a fumble on the snap. Blackford on the run, dumps it short. Oh, almost had his man along the sideline there. Couldn't hang on. That was the number 21, Harley Quillen, the intended receiver. Over in Gas City, have an update on the score there. Mississinewa is on top of Blackford, 7-0. And let's take a look again. A little bit trouble handling that snap.
And as you can see, it is raining, and it's picking up a little bit. It's rained the whole football game. Really the first fumble that we've seen as far as a running or passing play. Now we're looking at the 5th straight punt for Elwood, and again, they're inside their own 20. Nice.
I get that one away, and a little fake reverse on the punt return down that right sideline with running room and finally run out of bounds. And that was a nice tackle over there by Blake Wilburn on Edward Kiesling. Big Blake Wilburn, the 285-pound offensive lineman.
It was.
Got a piece of Edward Kiesling that time.
26-yard run back after he catches the ball.
And Edward got a piece of Blake. And he didn't back down. But great field position here for Eastbrook to begin their first drive of the second quarter.
First quarter unofficial stats, Eastbrook 10 carries, 114 yards. Elwood 17 plays, negative 17 yards.
Rolling out to his left, stopping and throwing in the flat, completed. That is Kirby with the reception. And a gain inside the 20, pickup of another Eastbrook first down, down to the 16-yard line.
Nice 10-yard pickup. First pass, and probably they were looking deep, I think. But
well, working the other side, and there's Kiesling with his third touchdown.
Kiesling having a big senior night for himself, and 3 touchdowns and I believe 5 carries.
Kiesling that time, I think, goes 16 yards for the score, and 2 plays on that drive. Ron, if I have this right, Eastbrook has had drives of 3 plays, 4 plays, 1 play, 2 plays, and now 2 plays.
And that's pretty major. That,
I mean,
that's just their 12th play, and they now have 12th offensive play, 1 pass in those 12, and they have 130 offensive yards to -17 for Elwood.
34-0 with the extra point attempt on its way. It is up, it is good, and that makes it 35-0. But
here
let's
you
take
see
a
the
look
play. Nice. Oh, wow, pancake block right there.
Yeah, let's give credit on that block out there. Josh Plumer with the big block that breaks that one open. Back downstairs to Joey on the sidelines.
Roger, you said that Eastbrook has 130 rushing yards so far. That is not a new trend for this team. They are averaging over 366 rushing yards to only 48 passing yards. Passing has just been a change of pace for them this year, and not one it looks like they need tonight. Back to you.
Good observation by Joey, because they threw the 1 pass on first down, which you're going to expect them to run. They picked up 10 yards on it, and may not see another pass this game, may see a couple more, but I don't think you'll see much more than 2 or 3 passes, because the running game has just been stellar for Eastbrook.
Well, there was a penalty on that extra point, and so now Eastbrook is going to kick it off. Look at this from there was a personal foul.
Yeah, it has to be a personal foul, and this will go into the end zone, I'm thinking.
You would imagine that Schultz will just put it out of the back of the end zone.
Yes.
And that's what he does. So the Elwood Panthers will begin the drive at their own 20-yard line.
Schultz is a weapon. His foot is a weapon. He's done all the kicking. Obviously, they haven't had to punt, but the kickoffs, that was his 6th kickoff. 5 extra points. This young man and this specialty team for Eastbrook has been something that they've depended on all year, and have really had a big part of the game plan in the specialty teams.
In other scores, after 1 quarter of play, Marion and Harrison are scoreless. So Harrison keeping that high-powered Marion Giant defense in check, at least for 1 quarter of play. Boy, a big hit there on that first down carry. Josh Rogers in on the tackle. I think also in there,
Trey Jordan has carried the majority of the times for that. Was him again. 5'9", 185 pounds, what they have him listed. I don't believe that. I think that he's not nearly that big, but he has been blasted several times.
He's a fearless runner, we see.
He is.
You have to be a fearless runner to return kicks.
You do.
In my estimation.
I think the real difference in this, their offense versus Eastbrook's defense, is their Eastbrook strength.
Boy, and then just getting drilled backwards on that play. That was Seth Morales. Now, that name Morales, there were some very good tailbacks back in the day.
Yes, there were.
For the Elwood Panthers. I mean, we're talking really good tailbacks with huge yardage.
Brendan Davis on the tackle, and he is 4th on the team in tackles with 27 tackles coming into this. He also had 4 tackles for loss. Here he is, and he just gets mashed.
Yeah.
Davis tees off and takes him down for a 4-yard loss.
Brandon Davis was almost there as soon as the handoff was there.
He shot the gap between what we call the A gap between the guard and the center.
Pass out to left flat is dropped, and then there was a big hit over there. That was Edward Kiesling in on coverage, and had Harley Quillen made the reception, he would not have gone from more than a gain of a yard, but it's 4th down.
So far on senior night, Kiesling has played a stellar game. He plays both sides. Here he is, and he scared the receiver.
That was a perfect form tackle that time by Kiesling.
He drove him down. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's had several tackles. This young man has come out to play a what could be senior night game here at Eastbrook.
Lovell to kick this one away. Gets a
Nice
good kick, yes. Taken at the 45 this time. There is the handoff on the punt. Inside to 35 to 30. Down the sideline at the 10. And then finally run out of bounds around the 5-yard line. And that was Zeke Binkard.
40-yard return. A nice wall as they run the reverse. They catch the ball, fake going to the right. The wall is set up to the left. They hand it off to the man on the right side, and he takes it 40 yards. Let's see, I think that's where they're going to put it, right there at the 5-yard line.
Zeke Binkard with the great return here. We'll get another look at it, and does a good job finding a hole and then hitting it.
The wall that he has, the men that are lined up, and they do a nice job just pushing men out of the way. A good, I believe that's the kicker, isn't it?
I did not get to see that.
Anyhow, a touchdown save there, but they're another short court for Eastbrook as they're going in from the 5.
On first down play, close to the end zone, not quite. And now in at tailback, that's Wyatt Stevenson, a junior, with the carry.
And I don't have Stevenson's official stats coming into the game.
No.
But he is somewhere past the top 5 ball carriers for Eastbrook. To give him a chance to get some good experience in the first half.
And there on the handoff is Justin Mance. The senior, Justin Mance, gets in the end zone for the touchdown.
Mance runs the counter. They fake the ball going to the left, bring Mance back to the right, and he scores then very easily from the 1-yard line.
Well, from 2 yards out, Justin Mance caps off another very short, quick drive, and looked like Schultz slipped that time. And the extra point is no good.
Here is that counter motion. They do fake the ball going left, and the defensive line took the fake. So going back to the right on the handoff to Mance. Another touchdown, the 6th touchdown of this game in the first quarter and a half.
Well, now Coach Adamson, though, has something he can point to in film.
Yes.
A missed extra point. Those guys better get ready to run on Monday, or something. And there, look at that shot.
It is raining. It is miserable out there. We know that the temperature is somewhere in the 30s. It was 39 at game time, the toe meet leather time, and we expect it to go down. We expect this game to have rain just about the entire game. It looks like it's getting heavier now.
Well, here we go. Schultz is going to have to ice down after the game. He's kicked the ball so much. This time it's a low line drive picked up and taken at the 12-yard line.
Nice.
Nice return out across the 30, and that was close to a late hit out of bounds, but no flag. But on the return that time was Josh Parrish.
Parrish got a nice block from number 44, Faust, as he gets all the way up to the, we see this, it's kind of a squibber. He picks the ball up at the 11 right here. He picks up a block. I know I saw it by Mast, and gets it up to the 32-yard line. Nice pick up and run for 20 yards.
Still a lot of time to go here in the first half, 8:42. Quite frankly, Ron, we anticipate maybe at some point there might be an agreement that we're going to have a running clock. This pass is picked off. Intercepted around the 43-yard line and returned inside the 35. That was Trey Jordan, I believe, who was kind of going down the seam.
And that was not the quarterback's fault. That ball was delivered to Trey Jordan. Watch it. He's right there, but he doesn't look for the ball until after it's intercepted.
And that was picked off by number 26, Jackson Ailstock, a sophomore defensive back. So Ailstock with the interception for the Eastbrook Panthers. And again, Eastbrook has only had one possession start inside their own territory, and that was at their own 49. This drive will start at the 35. Big hole, handoff left side. Justin Singer with the carry.
And maybe, is that the first time we've called his name?
I believe so.
He ran the counter play. They're having big success off the counter. He picks up 8 yards, coming back against the grain. Number 18 for them, School, comes across and gets the tackle.
That time Singer was hitting the backfield but breaks free. Working the right side now and makes another move, still on the move, and now a flag comes flying in from way in the back, but I think there was maybe a face mask on that tackle.
Justin Singer going for the first down, going off to his right. I don't think there's any doubt that he got the first down. It's what's going to happen after that. Nice cutback right there. Picks up a block, and that is...
And there you see the face mask. It's finally Josh Parrish.
And that will be a half the distance.
Now it'll be first and goal. The ball is at the 10-yard line. Clock will start now, 7:50 to go. The inside handoff. Just pushing his way. That's a little help from your friends going into the end zone for the touchdown. Again, was Wyatt Stevenson.
Wyatt Stevenson with the aid of his line and his back shoving the defensive line for Elwood all the way back into the end zone. And really, it was an easy touchdown for him. And I don't know if they're going to get Eastbrook for aiding the runner, but they definitely were pushing.
Well, let's see. Did not see the signal here.
I don't know, because it looked like, I'm not sure what they call it. Oh, they're going to move it from there. No?
Yep, it's going to be that rarely called
aiding the runner, and it's just a 5-yard penalty.
Well, if that was kind of interesting, the ball was spotted at the 5.
I know it.
There's a good tackle that time by Seth Morales. If that would have been a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, you would have thought that that kind of began about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, you would think so. They're going to get a Eastbrook for holding this time. And the penalties, this has been a very good penalty-free game until just these last 2 plays, as Eastbrook picks up a rare aiding the runner play penalty, and now a 10-yard holding play. So this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge than the first 6 series were for Eastbrook, as they have scored all 6 times.
All right, now we're looking at first and goal, but the ball all the way back at the 17-yard line. Hale with the handoff,
nice.
Big hole, and Stevenson gets his touchdown back.
He made, I tell you, there was a big hole, and once he got in, he put his shoulders down, put his self in high gear, and just outran everybody to the end zone. A 17-yard pickup, and nothing more than a straight-ahead dive.
Well, Wyatt Stevenson can say he had a touchdown run of 10 yards and 17 yards.
That's right.
Just one of them counts.
On that play, on that same series.
Here's Schultz in for the extra point. And it is good once again. 48-0.
Well, we're going to see that play right here And you see how much quicker the Eastbrook athletes are than the Elwood athletes. They get through that level 1, and then they just outrun people. That is just the 17th play of the game for Eastbrook offensively, and they're already up to 48 points in this ballgame.
Yeah, 48-0. And, boy, there's still more than the half of the second quarter on the clock.
We are, I guess, what can you say? It's every time they touch the ball, they score pretty much, other than if they get a penalty.
Well, Ron, in another score update, the Giants find themselves behind now with 4:51 to go in the first half. They trail 9-0 to Harrison. So
that is a case, and there were 2 trips you hated to make when I was coaching, which was 46 years. And one was the trip to Richmond, but the worst trip was to Lafayette, an hour and 45 minutes, and it was pretty easy for the kids to lose focus of what you're going to do. You would think with an 8-0 record that you would keep that focus, but like we talked about, Harrison has played a strong schedule and a very good team.
Oh, boy, that's a free ball. That is a free ball.
Eastbrook ball, I believe.
And they have it. The Eastbrook Panthers have recovered it. Let's see who's down there on the bottom of the pile for Eastbrook. That's number 11, Justin Mance. Mance, who scored the touchdown just a few minutes ago.
That was kind of a squib kick, and here's Mance getting on the ball at the 18-yard line. And once again, Eastbrook is inside the 20-yard line going in when the series starts.
I'm going to run out of room on my little tally sheet.
Yeah, just in the first half.
And the snap is mishandled that time by Dylan Bragg, so he'll just take it to the turf.
Yeah, he kind of bobbled a little bit. Really the first negative yards of the game for Eastbrook.
You know, sometimes I've heard different quarterbacks talk about it's not necessarily a wet ball that is as bad as having cold hands. I don't know if that is.
It is, and it is cold out there, and it is wet out there. But here you can see him drop it, so he just gets on it, which is smart. That's an experienced quarterback doing that. Here he is.
With the keeper. Still on his feet. Inside the 10, close to that first down mark. That was Dylan Bragg with a gain of, well, if it's a gain of 11, he's going to pick up the first down, and he did. He picked up 12.
12-yard pickup as they ran the option. Dylan Bragg had the option to pitch to the back, but he saw an opening. He turned it up off the defensive end, took it up, and now they're inside the 10, first and goal. Let's call it the 8-yard line.
The inside handoff. First man through that time for the Panthers. That was Wyatt Stevenson with the carry. Gets it inside the 5.
I don't want to necessarily bring it up yet, but we're at that point with some little time gone in this game and 48 points already scored. Are we going to see a running clock?
Well, I was thinking that.
I'm sure we will in the second half, but will they go to that even if they score here? I don't know, but I'm sure we're probably going to see it in the second half.
Once again, Stevenson with the carry into the end zone, his second touchdown. And there is a flag on the play, however. Maybe Wyatt Stevenson is going to have a touchdown taken off the board. Again, they're going to have to give it to him again.
They're going to have to try. It's just a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So they're back at the 9-yard line, a second. But again, they have had no problem picking up yards in this game. They are at the 9-yard line, and this is the 7th time or 8th time that they're headed into the end zone in the first half.
Here's the handoff. Right up the middle. Stevenson with the carry. Tackle just shy of the goal line. Lovell with the tackle. And now the Panthers of Eastbrook are going to move quickly here. Stevenson once again, this time he gets back. So 4 touchdowns now for Wyatt Stevenson. 2 of them count.
2 of them count, but that is the 8th touchdown of this football game for Eastbrook in this game is, I think, a much of a concern over on the other side. They just have 13 guys on the sideline, 11 guys in the game, 24 guys dressed for this game, and I just really think at this point they're very much outmanned.
Well, we knew coming into this football game that Eastbrook was the prohibitive favorite, and you had to assume with them being, 7-1 and Elwood at 0-8 that Eastbrook.
And an 0-8 team is 0-8 for a lot of reasons, but generally it's turnovers, mistakes, penalties, and I think in this game Elwood has experienced all three of those. Eastbrook, on the other hand, has been very good offensively, running the ball, a lot of counters, a lot of straight-ahead stuff. Only one pass in this game for 10 yards. So what we have seen in the first 8 games is coming to fruition in this game, in the fact that Eastbrook rolls up a lot of yardage rushing, and that's what we've seen thus far.
Schultz now to kick it off once again.
There has to be a concern this time, too. Is he going to kick it in the same spot? Because it is wide open down here where they recovered the ball the last time.
I believe this is 8th kickoff of the first half. This one is sideways. Oh, it's picked
nice
up.
Pick
Yeah. That was Seth Morales, who kind of just plucked that one with one hand.
He did. Justin Starr on the tackle, sophomore, 6 foot, 205 pounds, another backup giving a chance to play. And I think in this first half, maybe all of Eastbrook's players have played.
54-0. Eastbrook on top. Still over 5 minutes to play in this first half, and here's the first down handoff. Nothing there for Trey Jordan. We'll see who made the tackle there. That was Clay Dalton once again in on the tackle.
Trey Jordan has been the one positive I've seen for them. He doesn't always get a lot of yards, but he runs hard. And that's when a team is 0-8, headed for 0-9. To see a back still running hard, that says a lot about the character of the young man.
Second down 11 after that loss of a yard. Here's the inside handoff straight ahead, and that time some positive yardage on that second down carry. They pick up about 4 yards on that play, and that was, strange as it sounds, probably the best run of the game from the tailback position.
Yes, Trey Jordan for 3 yards here. But again, he runs hard. Look at his shoulders down. He's dragging 3 guys with him, gets a positive yard. He's getting hit every time, either at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. So to see what we've seen from him, he's doing a nice job.
High snap, right side. Here's Jordan. Slips out one tackle.
Nice.
Jordan has the first down along the sideline near midfield before he's finally run out of bounds. He made a really nifty move that time to pick up about an extra 10 yards on that carry.
That's what we call yak yards, the yards after contact. He got contact at about the 32-yard line. He left from the 29, a nice best run for him of the game. And here he's looking for some blocks, comes up, picks up a few extra yards before he's finally run out. 16-yard pickup for Trey Jordan.
Jordan once again on that first down carry, and you can see that Eastbrook defense, they have 7, 8, 9 guys in the box. That's pretty hard to run against.
They are not really honoring much of the passing game for Elwood as they're bringing a lot of guys up, trying to stop. We're seeing right now a steady diet of Trey Jordan from Elwood. He's done a nice job. This maybe being their best series of the 9 series that they've had so far.
For sure. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Here comes the blitz. Jordan breaks it to the outside. Got a block that freed him up a little bit, and he is very close to that first down marker.
He does a nice job. I'm glad we got him early to say that he runs hard, because he does run hard. And they're down 54-0, but you don't see him taking the plays off. Coming up at a nice block right there. Another nice block. 7-yard, 8-yard pickup, let's give him.
He was run out of bounds just about 2 yards earlier than what it previously appeared. So now it's 3rd down. And is that a false start?
Yes, it's a false start on right tackle, I believe, right guard.
False start. All starts to call against Elwood.
So
Tyler Follis for them.
Went 3rd short. That's not what they needed.
They have really done something this series. They've stopped trying to get outside. They stopped trying to throw the ball, and they're just running and blocking. And it's taken them 9 series. They are having some success if they have moved the ball. This is the 6th play of the drive for them.
Blackford has time, dumps it over the head of the intended receiver, Trey Jordan. Now it's 4th down and 8. If I'm Elwood, why not just go for it right here?
Well, you could. They have run over 3 minutes off the clock, about 3 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. Their best offensive series as far as time in this first half.
Well, it looks like they're going to kick it away.
This has been a chancy thing, as we've seen earlier, the punt.
Now, Eastbrook has nobody back to receive the punt, so they're going
to cover in case they decide to actually go for it.
That's Morales, who went back at the punter position, reverses field. He's hemmed in, makes the move, makes another move. He's got the first down. He's got more than the first down as he picks up the first down on a spectacular run by Seth Morales. Normally, it's Chase Lovell who was back there performing the punting duties.
That's right.
And that time it was Seth Morales. And even though the Panthers
and you know, they had everybody up. You observed that. They didn't have anybody back, and he still gets 20 yards and a first down.
What a nice run that time by Seth Morales.
Yards after contact were 16 of his 20 yards after he got hit the first time. A nice effort on that fake punt.
And so now Elwood has it inside the Eastbrook 30. By far their best field position of the night. Here is on the carry once again. Trey Jordan picks up a couple yards.
See a lot of ball tackling now from Eastbrook. You get one guy on the ball and then other guys coming up trying to rip the ball out, which is legal now. Back in the day it wasn't, but now it is totally legal. A nice 2-yard pickup for Trey Jordan, the man of the hour for Elwood, as he has had about 80% of the carries for them in this first half.
We're under a minute to play here in the first half. Elwood trying to get on the scoreboard here before the end of this half. Inside handoff to Morales. Not much running room that time. And, well, would use a timeout?
I would think so. This is their best series. The clock is still running, though.
They have not elected to use a timeout yet. Austin Castillo in on the tackle that time for Eastbrook.
This is probably the last play of the game, unless they throw an incomplete pass of the first half.
Morales is split out wide to the right. They're going to go across the middle. And was it caught? Caught inside the 5-yard line. The clock will stop with 5.6 seconds to go. And that time the reception was made by John Morris, the senior for Elwood. And so Elwood has a chance to get on the scoreboard here. What a catch!
What a catch. A skinny post coming from the inside, and he catches the ball, falls down at the 3, and they have one play here to score. You know, you wonder what have they done different in this 9th series for them that they couldn't do in the first 8. And the fact is they've learned to run the ball against this Eastbrook team. And then the fake punt was big for them. Fake punt picked up 20 yards.
Yes.
Now they pick up 17 yards there. They're down on the 4-yard line going in. And if they don't score on this one, it's halftime.
All right, 5.6 seconds remaining. It's first down, which really doesn't matter at this point, but first and goal. The ball will be at the 3-yard line. You see the official trying to keep the ball dry and sending it down.
This is a pride thing, I think, for Eastbrook, is to stop this. You would think play action of some kind.
Out of the shotgun. Blackford on the run. He's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to eat the football. Oh, it's a loose ball, and now Eastbrook. Oh, that was Stevenson who just about picked that one up, and he could have returned it about 75 yards for the touchdown. But that is how the first half comes to the close, with the Eastbrook on top, 54-0.
Unofficially, a 23-yard loss on that play, where he ran backwards, did not get it, and I think Elwood may have seen their best.
Yeah, there you see that Eastbrook defense all over the quarterback, Josh Blackford.
I'm going to change that 23 to a 13, and then a pickup and run of 10 yards for Eastbrook.
Well, at the half, Eastbrook is on top big. We will take a break. Don't go away. We'll be back with our halftime feature and the second half of action here on WIWU TV. All right, here we are back at Eastbrook High School. We're at the half. The Panthers are on top of, well, the Eastbrook Panthers on top of the Elwood Panthers, 54-0. Getting ready for the second half of action. And Ron, we have been informed that in this second half there will be a running clock, and that's probably a good thing. That
usually comes from the team that is losing to ask for that, and at 54-0, it's something they need to do. Both teams getting ready for a sectional game next week. It's 30-something degrees. It's been raining the entire game. This would be one of those cases when it's a great call, not just a good call, but a great call.
Absolutely. Well, as we said, it is indeed a 54-0 Eastbrook lead, and there was a lot of scoring to go around, a lot of sharing of the football, if you will. If you talk basketball, they talk about sharing the basketball. Well, that first half, the Panthers shared the football. Zane Kirby had a couple touchdowns to start things off for Eastbrook. Then Edward Kiesling got a pair of touchdowns. Well, actually, he got 3 consecutive touchdowns. Then Justin Mance got in the action with a touchdown. And then, Wyatt Stevenson picked up the final 2. And the one thing, I guess the one positive for Elwood is that at the close of that first half, they put together a drive, actually, and got themselves in position. They had the ball down at the 3-yard line, just couldn't punch it in the last play of the game. But they did close the half with a good drive.
They picked that last drive, which was their 9th of the first half. They had 11 plays, and that was pretty serious in itself. It ended up 50 yards of rushing after they lost 13 yards on the first down. Here we're going to see some highlights or some lowlights maybe. But here you see Blackford throwing the ball. It was not a good passing half for them. Great running half, though, for the Eastbrook. As you said, we had, I believe, 4 different guys to score. Here's a the one of two good runs for them with the quarterback picking it up. Several plays where a loss, negative yardage for Eastbrook, and just the great running of several good backs for Eastbrook. Nice option play here as quarterback keeps it, takes it down, bowls a guy over, gets some more yards after contact. That was probably very synonymous about most of the half for Eastbrook. A lot of hard running, a lot of knocking people down and getting extra yards, getting into the touchdown, getting 8 touchdowns in that first half.
You know, in that first half, the vast majority of what we're seeing here was occurring on the Elwood side of the field.
Right.
I mean, they could not get the ball across midfield, and Eastbrook, consequently, they were starting drives inside Elwood territory, short drives, you know, after even a punt or something like that went haywire, a drop snap or something like that. Just short drives, quick drives, and but you have to capitalize on them, and Eastbrook did that.
You did, and very quickly. We had series of 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, and 3 for the 8 touchdowns. So really, Eastbrook only ends up with 20 offensive plays in the first half, but they pick up unofficially 197 yards, almost 200 yards, about 10 yards a carry for Eastbrook, and they only threw it one time. And by the way, that was for 10 yards.
Yeah.
So, but for Elwood, it was a lot of problems. I believe 2 interceptions, a kickoff that Eastbrook recovered down about the 11-yard line. So anyhow, first half pretty special, and
we're going to go down really quick down to the field as Joey Koenig has Coach Jeff Adamson.
Are you looking to change your game plan at all here in the second half?
No.
Maybe take some starters out?
Yeah, we'd already taken just about all the starters out prior to that, but we've got them all out now, and just let some of the younger guys get some time on the field and kind of help prepare them for the future.
How valuable do you think that this experience for them is, going forward here in the future?
Yeah, it's real important. We're going to have a lot of those guys who are going to be starters next year, so just getting some time on the field is big for them, and getting a game experience is important.
And has there been any discussion between you and the other coach about the potential for a running clock this half?
Yeah, we're going to use the running clock for the second half, so it'll go over pretty quick, I think.
And last question, notice that Andrew Cochran has not been available tonight. Do you have any update on his injury going forward?
He got a lot better by the last half of the week. He practiced a little bit yesterday. He's still very tender. Just going to take some time to heal that up. Hopefully he's going to be ready to go for next week.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Good luck.
Kind of getting the confirmation there on that running clock, but I kind of liked at the beginning when Joey asked Coach Adamson any change in game plan. He's like, no. I mean, you got your subs in there, but he expects them to kind of run what the Eastbrook system is and do what they do and execute those things.
I thought it was a good interview by Joey and Coach Adamson, because the question about Drew Cochran, who is a senior, and there's nothing worse than being a senior and not getting to play on senior night, let alone when the team is winning 54-0 at halftime. So he'll get healthy by the time they play next week at this time against Oak Hill in the first round of the sectional.
Do we know where that game is?
As you're going into sectional, you're hoping that everybody is available to you so that you can play the best you can.
Yeah, I believe that first game, again, getting informed our crack staff down the truck that game, Oak Hill, Eastbrook sectional, will be here at Eastbrook. Well, on the kickoff, that is a loose ball, and it looks like the Panthers didn't want to pick it up. Now they do, and that's Stevenson brings it across the 40 at midfield and finally is taken down near the 45-yard line.
A lot of nice blocks there. Nobody seemed to want that. He picked it up just short of the 30. He got several blocks as he ran laterally across the field. Here we're going to see right there at the 30. He picks it up, runs laterally. He keeps running. You think, turn and go different direction. Here he is. He got 3 nice yards, and he got 25 yards after he picked up the ball.
Let's see who comes out at the quarterback position here for Eastbrook. And as Coach Adamson said, pretty much all the starters are out for Eastbrook. It's Justin Starr, who picks up about 6 or 7 yards on the first down carry for Eastbrook.
This is some if you basically have a lot of people down there for Eastbrook, and I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood of 55 to 60. So what we're looking at now are not the first team anymore. We're looking at the second team, and they will use the second team, and then eventually they'll get into the what we call the reserves, who usually play the Saturday or the Monday games, and then maybe get to the freshman guys.
In fact, it is Alden Miller who is in at quarterback for Eastbrook. And that carry picks up a first down for Eastbrook.
A nice run as we're seeing these backup guys for Eastbrook, and they're already down to the 30-yard line. A 8-yard pickup and another first down for Eastbrook. Try to get some names in here.
Yeah.
We are going to have a running clock. It will not stop. The 12 minutes of this quarter will just keep running, and then the same thing for the fourth quarter.
Along that offensive line, here's the handoff, but I saw number 70, Blake Thomas, who is a sophomore in for Eastbrook. And, boy, just picking up big chunks of yards on every carry still.
11-yard pickup.
That's Jonathan Bowl on the carry that time. Number 6, a sophomore. So a lot of sophomores in now for Eastbrook.
This traditionally, like I said, is usually your number 2. When you're hoping to have a first team, a second, and this is counter right here. A nice block going up. He keeps his head down. Yards after contact, about 5 yards.
On the left side.
Number 47, Jason Hale with the carry for Eastbrook.
That is, who was on the carry?
I tell you what, we actually see the numbers better on the monitor than we
do.
Than we're seeing down there.
Checking in for Eastbrook, Brandon Wolfgang, the sophomore wide out, bringing the play in.
Generally, you don't have any seniors in right now. The seniors probably are done for the day.
On the second down carry, not much running room that time. Josh Parrish with the tackle.
See Jason Hale out there, a freshman, running maybe at either fullback or a flanker. Let's see if we can pick up some other names.
Well, it'll be 3rd down and 2 now. The ball is at the 12-yard line. This is the first offensive possession of the second half here. Here's the handoff, and that should be good for a first down. As on the carry that time, Jason Hale once again, only a freshman, as you said.
6-yard pickup. We're seeing a lot of guys that don't get much playing time, but certainly these are the guys that play against the starters in practice. They practice the same amount of time, and as a coach, you're always happy that you can get these guys some playing time, because it really makes practice a lot easier as you're going into the sectional or as you're going into the next game, when everybody gets to participate, that everybody has ownership in the win.
It's 1st and goal now. Here, once again, is the handoff. Nice blocking up front. And then going into the end zone for the touchdown. That's Jonathan Bull with his first score of the ball game.
6-yard pickup on a counter play. They go off to the right. They bring Bull off to the left then off of that right-hand fake. And he runs through, picks up his blocking, and gets into the end zone pretty much unscathed.
Well, now extra point attempt. Now, in to attempt that extra point, it's going to be Lucas Schultz who knocks that one through. And so that makes it a 60-0 ball game.
Here we see it. You see that going to the right and bringing back Bull to the left. And then he goes from the left back to the right. Easy touchdown as they pick it up. And half of the third quarter just ran off.
Yeah.
So we're down to 6 minutes and 6 seconds. So this is really going very quickly.
Now, we say there's a running clock. It does stop on the change of possessions, but normally if you'd have a stop clock on an incomplete pass or maybe pick up a first down and move the chains, that's at the point where you just continue to run the clock.
You have seen Eastbrook's one pass for the game.
Exactly.
One pass completed for 10 yards, and then they average about 366 yards. They had 200 at halftime. I think we're going to get to that 366 average. They are going to go, though, much above their average of 44 points, being 61 already. In fact, haven't they scored every time they've had a possession?
I believe so, yes.
I think so.
Yeah, they have 9 times they've had the football, and 9 times they put it into the end zone. Back to receive the punt, or excuse me, the kickoff. This time again, we said it's Lucas Schultz, just the freshman. You got to believe, most likely the younger brother. Oh, through the wickets and into the back, or into the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. You know, Ron, you talked about, you know, these substitutions, or the freshmen and the sophomores getting in, the juniors, you know, the seniors out. At Eastbrook, from year to year, they don't rebuild; they just reload. You know, and kind of the, in a good way, the machine that Coach Jeff Adamson has built here, and so these are big minutes for these guys because some of these guys will be starting next year, and the expectations here are high. You know, there's a very high bar that's been set that is going to be winning football.
Two losses is a bad year.
Who would, you know, what high school football coach anywhere wouldn't love to have those kinds of high expectations based upon 30 years of success?
Well, and you're talking, and if you talk to Jeff Adamson, and he's a friend of mine, and he'll tell you about his little guys football that they have that's a tackle program. He'll tell you about his middle school program. He'll tell you about his freshman program. And it's not Jeff Adamson. It is a group of guys that Jeff Adamson had. Not only is it that, but he has a lot of assistant coaches who have had several years of time with him. And he's just the leader. And the leader turns over to the guys that are coaching the opportunity to coach.
Here's a fake, nice pass. Oh, and it was just dropped. It was really nice fake to the one side, and then the throw back to the other side. But John Morris just could not hang on the football, and he had a little bit of running room out there.
He did, and it was a well-constructed, it was a what we call a flood pass as he rolled off. And it is very hard to throw going to your left if you're right-handed. But that ball was in his pocket, and it would have been a nice pickup and probably a first down.
Yeah, Blackford put it right on the money, but now it's going to be 3rd and long here for the Elwood Panthers. Here's the dump off out of the flat. Oh, making the catch that time. And then the move after the catch, picking up the first down. And down the sideline. He could go. That's Trey Jordan. Trey Jordan at the 30. He's looking back at the 20, the 10, the 5. No flags, touchdown.
Nice 80-yard. It's the yards after catch, not the yards after contact on this, but the yards after catch. They threw it. He got about a 2-yard pickup. The rest of it was Trey Jordan, 78 yards after the catch for an 80-yard touchdown. And yes, this is the backups, or this is the number 2s for Eastbrook, but you got to think, and the fact that Trey Jordan, who has been the leader of this team in the first half, gets the 80-yard touchdown.
In other scores really quick, Madison Grant on top of Frankton, 29-14. The extra point is no good.
Extra point was blocked.
61-6 though after the big 80-yard touchdown from Elwood. We'll get a nice look at it.
Here you see this little out route. He shakes it. He gets it right there at the 20. So it's a catch, an 80-yard run, not a 78-yard run. He does a nice job. And this young man has not quit all game. He's been the leader of Elwood, and he picks up 80 yards and a touchdown, and the first score of the game for Elwood.
Oak Hill is on top of Alexandria, 14-0. Oak Hill has come on towards the end of this season.
And as you're going into the tourney now, unfortunately for Oak Hill, they drew Eastbrook, but
yes,
and they're playing them over here. But Coach Bud Osmond, I really like the way he coaches.
He's got a good young quarterback.
He always has numbers too. So his program is good. Sometimes his numbers aren't big guys, and that's that he told us. That's what happens when you're a Class 2A team.
Rutherford to kick it off for Elwood. Talk about an Oak Hill guy here in just a minute who there's an onside kick, and Elwood is going to recover it. That was a perfectly kicked football that went over the heads of that first line of Eastbrook return guys.
Yeah, and that
was covered by Morales.
And he's starting to come on. We've mentioned him a few times offensively, but he really did a nice job, and that was a great kick. That was the perfect kick, and they were not ready for that onside. So, two plays in a row here.
Yeah, another score. Mississinawa now all over Blackford, 28-0. So it looks like Mississinawa will be indeed the undisputed CIC champs for this year. And what would it be like maybe down the road in the playoffs if we have another matchup between Mississinawa and Marion? It could happen.
It could happen.
In a sectional final. First down handoff.
Both teams very good this year.
Yeah. Trey Jordan with the carry.
Eastbrook or Mississinawa with the one loss early, but they have had a good run through the conference. Marion's had a good run until I don't know what the latest on them is, but they have had a good run up till this game.
Last score we have is Marion still trailing Harrison 9-6 in the third quarter, late in that third quarter. Nothing on that second down carry for Jordan. Getting back to Oak Hill really quick. We were talking a little bit about the team that Bud Osmond has this year, but what can you say about Owen Perkins, the Oak Hill grad, who is now, second year guy at Indiana Wesleyan, first year in football, but that big man has had a whale of a first-year campaign.
He sure has. And you say, how did a guy this big come from a school that has many small players? Well, it's cyclical. I mean, it's a cycle that goes through, and certainly Owen Perkins had a great career at Oak Hill.
And the other strength there, as that third down carry is shy of the first down, you got a guy like Owen Perkins, who, I mean, he tips the scales around 300 pounds.
Yes, he does.
Plays that defensive tackle position. He's really stout, but he learned a lot of good wrestling from Coach King over there.
Okay.
Well, that should be the end of the third quarter. And that was the last play. So 1 quarter of football left to go. There's a break in the action, so we'll take a break. Back with the fourth quarter of action here in WIWU.
Mangus in the paint, the floater high off the glass. Mangus stops, pops, got it! Inside it goes, off the glass, Mangus to drive the layup. Tied up at 44, hanging off the glass, Mangus.
Triple chain, and he still scored.
Shooting 2, ties it up with that first one. And he does. 55, 54. Not anymore! Back the other way, Kyle Mangus. We're tied at 62. You can take the lead with the 3. Mangus in the paint. And 1. Grant Smith. Laid it up and in. Kyle Mangus from Grant Smith. And this crowd is electrified.
This crowd is 100% excited.
Fade away. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
How did he make that shot?
Kyle Mangus.
Back with the fourth quarter of action, and that third quarter with the running clock moved rather quickly. Elwood, though, got on the board in that third quarter, and now they have it once again in Eastbrook territory. They're going to go for it on fourth down. It looks 4th and 2. So here's Blackford with the inside handoff, and
he's going to get it.
With the carry, boy, that's going to be really close to the first. I thought he had it, but
went down in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah, with the spot over there. But
no,
are we gonna have a measurement or not?
No.
You're gonna say he's shy? He was just a little bit shy, so the Eastbrook defense comes up with a fourth down stop. You know, Ron, I did think for just a moment he got that, but it was probably a little bit farther than 2 yards to go in that first.
Yeah, and it looked like they were pushing, but all of a sudden everything stopped and he went down. Just a little bit on the third quarter with the running clock. Eastbrook had 7 plays, and actually they had 7 plays, and Elwood had 6 plays. So only 13 plays with the running clock. And we're already down to 11 minutes left in this game with the running clock.
Here's the first down handoff. We'll see who that was on the carry for Oak Hill. That was number 45, Justin Starr. He's only a sophomore, but 6', 205 fullback.
Good size. And, you know, I think the future looks really good for Eastbrook. We're seeing some of their second team. And I think if they keep running the ball like this may be the last series of the game, or Elwood might get one more because this running clock has already gotten us down to the 10-minute left in the game.
On second down. Here's a big gain. First down yardage and more. Big. At the start of the fourth quarter, the Giants have scored a touchdown, converted on a 2-point conversion. They now lead Harrison 14-9. Now I have heard, though, I did see on Twitter that J.K. Thomas did go down with an injury. I have not heard if he's back in action or not, but that would be bad news for the Giants if J.K. would be out for any stretch of time.
J.K. Thomas is Mr. Quickness, Mr. Speed, and we hear it is an ankle for him, and that's not good news as they go in to the first round of sectional next week.
Here is the handoff left side. Oh, then drugged down from behind.
That's a horse collar.
That's a horse collar tackle indeed. You wouldn't think too many guys could bring down Justin Starr from behind, but you grab some of them on the horse collar, you can do it.
That is the equalizer, though, is when you grab the back of that, the shoulder pads, because the rest of the body has to follow. Here we're going to see it. Watch him grab the back, and he fell down, so he had all of his weight pulling Justin Starr down. So a 3-yard pickup, a 15-yard penalty.
Bringing in the play from the sideline, that's Mike Fredrickson, number 20, wide receiver. He'll split out wide to the right.
This is truly what they like to run with the double wing.
Mm-hmm. Here's the handoff that time. Is Bowl who gets a nice carry.
You see Bowles and Starr as the backup fullbacks, and they're doing a nice job, especially on this series, moving the ball and getting first downs, and especially running the clock.
Of course, we said here's Brandon Wolfgang bringing that play in.
You know, it's been a long game for the Elwood defense out there. They've given up 61 points, but they've got nobody to sub in for them.
Exactly, and of course, most of these guys going both ways.
Yes.
Inside carry. That's Jason Hale. Got a couple carries earlier on.
Tackle made by number 57, James Fetz.
And on the tackle, Fetz for Elwood.
Short gain on the play, but good enough for an Eastbrook first down.
Now, are you sure they're not going to throw the football? Ron, I'm worried about you, though.
Yes, you are.
Because tomorrow,
I
6 a.m., you're up at the crack of dawn, heading up north with our good friend from WBAT, Tim George, to cover the Wildcats tomorrow.
Hey, 6 o'clock we're leaving. It's a 3.5-hour trip. Nice run.
And they're into the end zone for the score. Hayden Rakes, the sophomore running back, with his first touchdown.
But, and the reason I took it is because I have, for me, this year has been a bucket list thing to be able to have you and I call the television side of the Wildcat football.
Extra point attempt is no good that time.
So here we're going to see this play, and here he runs off the counter again, puts his shoulders down, gets into the end zone. This was Hayden Rakes, 6'2", 150 pounds. Not very much weight, but a lot of size there. A sophomore for Eastbrook.
You know, we were talking a little bit earlier about Eastbrook's special teams and, you know, how that could be a factor getting into the tournament or, you know, getting deeper in the tournament. You have to have offense. You have to have defense. Special teams could come in big play. Talking about Indiana Wesleyan football, that big win last week against a very good St. Francis team out of Illinois and homecoming. I mean, a very good football team.
A very strong program over the last 10 years, part of the conference for that long, and certainly the coaching staff for them have been very successful going to the playoffs.
But a team that the Wildcats, with a young group of guys against a team that has plenty of senior leadership and you know, experience, it took that total team effort. The offense, you know, scoring, getting some big chunks of yards. The defense, although they gave up some points and some yardage, making stops when they had to do it. Special teams were huge in that game, and
well,
that's a winning formula for football.
And, you know, a mistake was made at the end of that game, but then the defense took it all the way down to the last play of the game, and with the last play of the game, they secured the 1-point win. And I really saw Coach Lang's about as happy as I've ever seen him, because that was a statement win for him. That was a beginning
100%.
First-year team winning over an established, solid team. And so now you're going to go up, you're going to play a team that is 5-0 on the road in the cold, but they're really all 2-0. They play a lot of club teams. 2-0, they've have, I think, just one common opponent, and both teams have beat it. So I look for it to be a good game.
Yes.
And this is the time of year when you either get them when it's a nice weather, or it could be very tough. And I think it'll be tough tomorrow.
5 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in this contest. Here's the pitch back. Trying to find a crease there was Trey Jordan. Picks up a couple of yards. In on the tackle. Isaiah Dalton in on tackle. That's got to be Clay's younger brother, Isaiah.
And again, the leader of this team for Elwood, even though they've only scored one touchdown, has been Trey Jordan. He has shown a lot of gut and determination, I guess you would say, the fact that his team has been down the whole game and he never quits.
He's a good athlete. I mean, he showed a burst of speed. On the handoff, nothing doing there for Trenton Porter, and good job by the Eastbrook defense. Faust in on the tackle there for Eastbrook.
So we're kind of closing this game out with 4 minutes. So both teams go back. Elwood, they haven't got a win for the season. Hoping that at least get one win, probably not. And Eastbrook looking like they have a chance to go somewhere in the tournament.
On the quarterback keeper, trying to spin out of the tackle was Blackford. He's fighting towards that first down marker. He's going to be just a little bit shy of it. It's going to be 4th and 1.
That was kind of a busted play.
Yeah.
Watch him as he turns the wrong way, apparently, or the back went the wrong way. And he does a nice job, a good spin out, a second spin out. Then he puts his shoulder down. Yards after contact for him were very good as he picks up 7 yards. And I think it looks like they're going for it.
Yeah, it was Hale in on the tackle that time, but the clock continues to run. 3 minutes to go now. Here's Blackford back in the pistol. Quick pass there to left flat. Oh my goodness, he might not have got the first down if he'd have just
all he had to
made
do
the
was
move
run.
initially. He'd have got the first down for sure, and I think he probably got it by just a hair.
Yep, they're going to give him the first down.
And Morales looked like he had the first down easily.
Looked like it was a screen pass. It was a middle screen pass. The 2 guys on the outside of him, either side of him, went up to block. He caught it. He was looking for blocks, but he should have been running because he needed the 3 yards for them to keep the ball, and a good second effort got him the first down.
Here's Porter, slips one tackle. Pushes his way forward across the 40-yard line. That's a nice gain on first down. Pick up of 5, maybe 6 yards.
They are doing much better in this second half, but again, they're going against number 2s. There's a broken tackle. 4 broken tackles for the Eastbrook defense.
Inside 2 minutes now. You're on the inside handoff, slipping one tackle, but nowhere to go that time for Harley Quillen.
One of the rules of offense is don't stop when you start running. Don't stop for anything and get going north and south. Well, he did. He stopped, and he went east and west. East and west just simply means he went laterally instead of going forward. So basically, nothing positive out of that.
Braxton Bowser in on the tackle that time. And we're under a minute. Mercifully,
not 2 more plays, and mercifully,
this second half with the running clock has certainly gone much faster. Blackford looking left, throwing left, over the head of his tender receiver. Then the second man, Morales, almost made the grab. Actually, that wasn't Morales out there. That was Hunter Scholl. We'll see if Elwood gets one more playoff. Well, Eastbrook will go into the playoffs next week at 8-1 and
second in the conference.
Second in the conference. That will do it. They won't. Elwood has conceded and will not snap the football again. They take on a much improved Oak Hill team, but certainly you'd have to think Eastbrook is the heavy
you would
favorite
have to,
in that game.
And the fact that it looks like Eastbrook's going to pick up Cochran, one of their mainstays, especially at linebacker, and it's going to be at home for them. So this is a good way to finish, and I think both teams deciding to do the running clock was the right thing to do. And thankfully for Elwood, they did get a score.
The final score is 67-6. We're going to take a break. We'll be back and put a wrap on this one right after this WIWU.
It's capping. There we go.
It's faster than you think.
The world is desperate for nurses who want to positively impact the world for Christ.
Maybe this is what I'm wired to do. This is what I was meant to be.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Along with Ron Vermillion and Roger Alcock back here in, excuse me, Eastbrook High School in the warm and cozy press box, and the seniors for one final time at the regular season at home. They ring the bell here at Eastbrook, and boy, those guys, if you played football for 4 years at Eastbrook High School, you've run that bell more than once, haven't you?
Especially at home, and it's a good win for them, a win that they knew they were going to get going in. They gave some guys who are dinged up a little bit a chance to play a little, except for Cochran, but not get additional injuries. So going into this game, I think they accomplished what they wanted to. They put it out of reach for them early, and they're ready to go into the second part of the season, and that's sectional on through, and certainly look for Eastbrook to make a run.
And I don't know if that bell has a name, but I'd call it the tradition bell, because you see on there all the sectional titles and the regional semi-state titles and those kinds of things. And
that's two on there. That means they got to the state twice, and that's pretty special for a 2A team.
Hey, while we got a minute here, let's break up the Madison Grant Argyles. They're going to get their third win of the season, and they do it just in big-time fashion. They're up 41-14 over Frankton. So congratulations to Argyles on a great game so far tonight. And Oak Hill late in the fourth quarter up on top of Alexandria 21-0. We saw that Madison Setonwall all over Blackford earlier. You know, second half highlights here, much of what we saw in the first, but this was the big play for Elwood, by far the biggest play of the game. 80 yards.
Trey Jordan makes a nice catch. He gets contacted there. He eludes him, and then he just outruns everybody to the house, meaning the end zone, and an 80-yard touchdown throw and catch. And by the way, that was the majority of their yards for the game.
Now, with the running clock, obviously not nearly as many possessions in the second half as the first half, but you got to, I would think, you know, the coaches will want to look at film, but these second and third string guys for Eastbrook, I thought, did a pretty good job. Overall, they gave up the one big play, but they moved the football on offense. And they got some stops on defense.
When tomorrow morning they will have film, and everybody will have film. Nobody will have to go for JV games or for other games. They're all now varsity. They're all getting ready to put their efforts into a tournament run. And again, here you see it. And what I had for the half with the running clock, Elwood 13 plays, Eastbrook 12 plays. Elwood had 104 yards, Eastbrook 96 for that half, which put Elwood with 104 yards in the second half, only 137 on 45 carries or plays. Eastbrook just 32 plays, and normally you're going to get them 50 to 60. 293 yards, almost 10 a carry, and that is the reason they won this game 67-6. A lot of guys got a lot of chance to play in this game, and certainly I think we had 5 different guys score touchdowns for Eastbrook.
Hey, we are going to send it down to the field. Joey's got some seniors from this Eastbrook team, and let's go downstairs to Joey.
Guys, this could have been seen as a trap game for you guys. You had some injuries coming in, especially on the linebacker and fullback side of things, but you guys took care of business tonight. Can you tell me about that?
We just had to focus in and get the little things straight for the tournament so we can hopefully make a deep run over there.
And with that tournament next week, how big is it playing a team from the county, from your conference, versus someone else?
We take every game serious. We don't ever look over our opponents. Obviously, we've played Oak Hill before, but at the same time, we know that they're going to come out ready to fight every Friday night. So we're going to go out there, give it our best shot, and just be prepared like always.
Now, with this week, it was weird weather week. It was hot really early in the week whenever you were practicing, and now tonight it was wet and it was cold. I mean, how did that impact things today?
That just means you got to throw on an extra shirt. That's about it. But no, we just have to take care of the ball and just get our job done.
All right. Good luck next week, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you.
A couple of the outstanding seniors from Eastbrook High School. And speaking of the cold and rain, I think Coach Adamson was telling you before the game that this is his kind of weather.
Well, Coach Adamson had on a slicker outfit for the rain. He had on 3 or 4 layers of clothes underneath, and he says, "You can call me what you want, but I'm going to be warm." And he doesn't like to be cold, and I think with the number of touchdowns, he never got cold in this game.
Let's take one more break. We'll be back, talk a little bit more about this big Eastbrook victory right after this WIWU.
Several starters on the bench. That one is tipped and it picked up, intercepted, back the other way at the 30, the 20, down the sideline.
So is Lysander.
Himself, he is. But in this time, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthy.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key, and as you can see, we're not stuck in the studio anymore.
It's faster than you think.
Wonder, it awaits you in southern Indiana. Here, the town of Santa Claus invites you to enjoy the happiness of Christmas morning as you soar through the twists and turns at Holiday World and unwrap other local attractions. Then, just down the road, walk in the footsteps of a young Abe Lincoln on the very ground where he grew up. Awe and laughter. That's honest to goodness Indiana. Plan your getaway at visitindiana.com/Santa.
back here on a cool, I'm not even going to say cool, I'm going to say cold, rainy night at Eastbrook High School. But the Panthers on seniors night send their seniors home with a big 67-6 victory here in Ron Vermillion. Want to mention, the great night that the Eastbrook kicker Schultz had. He's got a big game tomorrow. He puts on the soccer outfit or soccer uniform, and they have a big regional soccer match tomorrow against Leo. The guys do, and then girls soccer here at Eastbrook, they have a regional match against Northwestern, and the coaches here, Adam Hallis for the guys and Jamie Hallis for the ladies, both Indiana Wesleyan grads, doing a great job here with the soccer program.
And that's a connection that we do have. And, for the schools that have both soccer and football, they do football does borrow the kickers. My own grandson just graduated from Marion last year, and he did the double for 4 years where he got basically 8 varsity letters in 4 years doing the fall season. So that is something special, and it takes a special person to be able to do it because it's a lot of extra work. Speaking of Indiana Wesleyan, tomorrow they go up into Michigan.
Against Lawrence Tech.
It's Lawrence Tech, a team that has not been beat yet, and it'll be a good game. I don't know how cold it is. We're going up. I'm going up with the radio crew, and we're going to call that game. And then probably – the last time we'll see Indiana Wesleyan is in November, the middle of November, with that last game. So they'll be on the road the rest of the time until the last game.
All right, so big high school soccer tomorrow. Oak Hill and Eastbrook in girls volleyball at sectional finals tomorrow. Those two could face up in the finals tomorrow night potentially. And, of course, cross country has a big sectional or regionals tomorrow as well at Indiana Wesleyan. Hey, this is our final regular scheduled high school football game of the week here in WIWU for this season. So for Ron, I'm Roger. For our entire crew downstairs, Paul and Nate, Dr. Randall King, the entire crew of students, we certainly say thank you for joining us. Once again, the final score tonight, 67-6, Eastbrook on top.
Good.